Welcome back to the Markout Movie Podcast. This is Brandon Spivey, and today I am going to be doing something I haven't done in quite a while on the podcast. Going to be reviewing a new movie. Yeah, something I haven't done since Bloodshot. That was my last theatrical film I saw in theaters. Didn't see this in theaters, of course, but it debuted yesterday. Scoob.
Scoob, do you realize where we are?
No.
Look around, man. The clean, modern aesthetic, the cool blue color palette. We're in
IKEA.
The Falcon Fury. Did you say IKEA?
Nope, I said Falcon Fury.
Now, for me, Scoob was something I was very excited to see. I grew up watching it, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, Velma, Fred, and Daphne. So I was very excited for this. No lie, first episode this year on the podcast, we did our most anticipated films, and Scoob was actually number 3 on my list. And Aaron gave me a Jim Halpert expression. That day, so I'm sure he'll insert it right here. But it was number 3. The only things that beat it for me was Halloween Kills and A Quiet Place Part 2, which we now know A Quiet Place Part 2 we will not be getting this year. Halloween Kills, maybe, hopefully. But yeah, Scoob I was very excited for it, man. I couldn't wait to see it. I love the trailer. When we first meet Shaggy and Scoob in the trailer and they meet, I actually watching that on the very first time I saw the trailer, I had a tear roll down my eyes. I'm a big fan of Scooby-Doo. I'm a big fan of the original show. I've seen some episodes of the other shows they did, but the original is where it was at for me. And growing up as a child, I also loved the Flintstones and the Jetsons. Those were the main 3 I watched from Hanna-Barbera. So when I heard about this movie getting made, I was excited to see Scooby-Doo on the big screen again. Or on the big screen. Didn't get to happen, but I was excited. And I was excited because it was going to be Scooby-Doo. But then I heard about the shared universe. I didn't know how I felt about that at first, but ultimately I was like, okay, this may work. But I won't get into the plot and everything. I'm just really excited that I'm actually getting to review something again, something new. It's a good feeling. But yeah, this was an anticipated film for me. So let's see how it did, right? Okay, here we go. With hundreds of cases solved and adventures shared, Scooby and the gang face their biggest, most challenging mystery yet, a plot to unleash the ghost dog, Cerberus, upon the world. As they race to stop this global dog apocalypse, the gang discovers that Scooby has a secret, legacy, and an epic destiny greater than anyone could have imagined. The scores for this film are this. It's got a 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb. Facebook actually gives it a 4.6 out of 5. Google users like this movie. It's 86%. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 54% with an audience score on there at 71. So yeah, I had honestly, I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm not gonna spoil who the villain is. That was a nice surprise to see who that was. If you look it up, you're gonna find out. They're talking about him, but I'm not gonna spoil it because I didn't know he was in the movie, and I loved it. I loved seeing him again. But I'm not gonna spoil it. But it was nice, and the characters that showed up from Hanna-Barbera, I hadn't seen them in so long, so it was like seeing an old friend again. It really was. It was like seeing an old friend again. But this movie starts off with Scooby actually stealing food, a cop chasing him, and then we cut to Shaggy, who's listening to I want to say it's an NSYNC song, but I'm not 100% sure, and I'm sure some people, especially some friends, are text me later and say, "You didn't know the difference between NSYNC and Backstreet Boys?" No, I don't. Sometimes I don't. That they were like the same to me. I shouldn't say that, but they were. They were pretty much the same to me. But I'm not getting. Then he switches his iPad to 70s music, then 60s music, and then he finally listens to a podcast about a guy that's not doesn't have any friends. So so I thought all of it was relevant, especially the podcast part. I thought it was relevant. Then he's talking, he's in the sand, eating his food and just talking to imaginary friends, and Scooby's there listening. That's how they first meet. And it's an emotional moment as much as it is in the trailer. I love that. And their first actual mystery happens by accident. It happens the night they meet, and that was like old school Scooby-Doo, and that was heartwarming. It was cute. It was everything you would want it to be. Years go by. Simon Crowell, I think it's how you pronounce his last name. I may be wrong. Comes in, wants to work with the gang, but he doesn't want to work with Scooby or Shaggy. So they get offended. They go to the bowling alley and they get beamed up. It shows that in the trailer, so you know that's going to happen. So I'm not going any more about the story. They just get, the mystery gang's trying to save Scooby and Shaggy throughout the movie, and we're finding out things about Scooby. But here's the thing for me. It took some chances. It did some things that a normal Scooby-Doo adventure wouldn't do. And I had to ask myself, am I okay with this? Because, it's going in a direction I didn't see it going in. Am I okay with it? Ultimately, I'm okay with it. Because I had fun with it. It brought me back to my childhood. It was a fun film. It was, it was witty. The dialogue was very witty. And I had a blast with that. I had a blast with these characters. Like I said, it's like seeing an old friend again. And I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the story. I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed the villain. I enjoyed the various characters that showed up. I had a good time, honestly. And I dare say I was more excited than my own son, who's 9 years old, who loves Scooby-Doo. I don't know, but I had a good time with this. And I had a blast watching Scooby-Doo and the gang solve this mystery. And I've heard people do their reviews, some negative reviews, where they've turned them into superheroes. And I'm like, okay, let's think about this for a second. Turn them into superheroes. Yeah, but don't you think they were kind of already superheroes to begin with? I mean, they've teamed up with people before. They've teamed up with a person, the Blue Falcon. They've teamed up with him before in the original show. They teamed up with the WWE. They teamed up with Supernatural, Sam and Dean. I mean, come on. They're already superheroes to kids anyway. Come on. They were superheroes. They were superheroes to me. Before I knew who Batman was, or Spider-Man, or the Hulk, or Captain America, or Superman. I knew the Scooby-Doo gang. Before I knew who Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was, I knew Scooby-Doo and his gang. The Scooby-Doo gang. So, I mean, say what you will about superheroes. To me, it's a Scooby-Doo mystery. Yeah, it's got a lot of heart. There's some emotional moments in this story. There's a lot of fun to be had, though. There's an emotional moment with Fred. Oh, that hurt me. Out of anything in this movie, I wasn't expecting that to happen, but that hurt me the most with something with Fred. And I was like, and I was angry that they did it. And I was like, but, I think that will turn some people away. I don't agree with what they did there. And I'm not going to go into what they did. When you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I had a lot of fun with this movie. I enjoyed it. It made me feel like a kid again. And if a movie can make me feel like a kid again, it's all good to me. I'm going to be honest with you. I think ultimately I would say diehard fans will enjoy this movie. And to quote Marty McFly from the original Back to the Future, your kids are going to love it. And that's the truth. This is a kid's movie. This is a family film, but ultimately it is for the kids. And they're going to love it. So would I recommend you paying $20 right now to rent it? One person, I would say no. I would just wait till it comes out and buy it. For two people in your house, I want to see it. Maybe. The only reason I say maybe, it's $20, right, to rent it. It's 25 to buy it digitally. Um, if you're gonna purchase it physical copy, I would just wait, really. But if there's more than 3 people want to see this movie in your household right now, I say rent it. I think your family's gonna have a great time. I do, and that's just my opinion, but that's how I feel about it. And I had a blast. I can't say that enough. I had a blast with Scoob. Is it my favorite animated? Oh, animation. Oh, I got to speak on animation. I got to, because I love this animation. This animation reminded me of a little movie called Monster House. That animation. A little bit, not all of it, but a little bit of animation reminded me of this, and I love this animation. I thought they all were great. All the animation was great. It was superb, in my opinion. I loved it. I think they treated all the characters with respect. But ultimately, this is about Scooby and Shaggy, about their bond, about their friendship. And that is the main point here. It is about friendship. And I love that. I love that story. Ultimately, you can go on this team up movie all you want, but ultimately, this story is about a bond, a sacred bond between Shaggy and Scoob. And that's ultimately what this movie is about. And that's why I love this movie. I'm not being honest. I do. I love it for that fact. There's some emotional moments in this movie with Scooby and Shaggy, and it's heartbreaking to watch at times. If you're a diehard fan, you're gonna know what you're gonna feel what I feel. If you're not, you may not feel nothing. Another YouTuber, I watched his review. He's the only review I've seen fully. Jeremy Johns. I love his reviews. I don't agree with him on this movie, though. I don't. But he's not a diehard Scooby-Doo fan either. He says that in his review. He was more of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan. And I would say I was too, but Scooby's where it started. You know what I mean? It's where it started. So I know I'm going a little bit longer in this review. I'm passionate about Scooby, and I'm passionate about Scoob the movie, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Whether it's the shared team up movie, or if it's the next mystery movie, or if it's the Flintstones, or if it's the Jetsons, or if it's the Blue Falcon movie. I mean, who knows? I don't know where they're going for the next installment, but I'm there. I'm sold. You sold me on this movie, and I'm there. And I think it's going to do pretty well. I think if Trolls World Tour did well like this, I think Scoob's going to do extremely well. But if you have kids that want to see this movie, I say rent it. I think you won't be I don't think your kids will be disappointed. Even if you don't like the movie, I think your kids are going to love it. I do. And that ultimately, that is the bottom line. Because this is a kids movie. It's about the kids. And I think they're going to love it. Now I'm going to get to my score. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 on the markout meter. I had fun with it. Made me feel like a kid again. There's some things they did that I didn't agree with. But, ultimately, I had a blast watching this. I laughed several times at some of the jokes because they were witty, because they were relevant. There's a scene where Shaggy and Scooby are singing the song from, what is it? In the Shallows, I think. Stars Born. It's just hilarious to hear them sing, and it's relevant. Some people had a problem with that. That's not relevant. I think it's still relevant. I still listen to that song. I still hear that song played. It's relevant. I just thought the dialogue was so witty, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the characters too. I had fun. I honestly have fun. I just had a lot of fun watching this movie, and I'm glad to see Scoob back. Because last time I seen Scooby in a movie, a real movie, not the one that goes to DVD or Blu-ray or straight to streaming, was probably Scooby-Doo 2, Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar. Ultimately, I think that's what probably killed Freddie Prinze Jr.'s career, was the Scooby-Doo movies. But this treats the Scooby character with such respect, and all the characters really with such respect. They honor them, and I loved it. Zoinks! I had a blast, man. I did. So that's been my review of Scoob. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully if you have kids and they want to see it, hopefully you rent it and appreciate this movie for what it is, because it is for the kids. I think it's also for diehard fans. And even though it took a different direction, I was kind of happy that it did in the end, because I got to see these other various characters in the shared universe. I didn't feel like it was forced. I was hoping to see certain people, but I didn't get to see those people. But hey, we'll see what happens in the future. But this has been Brandon Spider from the Mark Out Movie Podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. I don't know what's coming up here in the next few days, but we'll see what happens. We'll get something new out. But appreciate you for listening. Hit a like and a comment with your thoughts. If you liked it, hit a like. If you didn't like it, hit a dislike.
No.
Tell us what you like to hear from us from the future, and we'll give it to you. So, but this has been Brandon Spider from the Mark Out Movie Podcast, marking out with you over Scoob 2020. It did not disappoint. Thank you for listening.